Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Simplified, a show that explains intense topic from around the world and simplifies it for you so that you can appear cooler in front of your friends.
You're listening to TFG Football.
What's up, everyone? This is the TFG Indian Football Podcast, and joining me in the studio, as usual and always, is Kevin. What's up, Kevin?
Hello.
Well, did you imagine that the scoreline that we saw yesterday in the AFC Cup match, would that happen? Like we saw, in our preview, we said the bench strength of Bengaluru is more stronger than Mohun Bagan. So what do you, if you want to say, we will of course dwell into it too much. But did you expect this scoreline?
No, it was really a game which none of the teams had really something to do with it, because it was about resting players, and both the sides did do that. Mohun Bagan to some extent did want to show the intention that they want a point from this. It wasn't a game that they want to sit back and just relax and let Bengaluru take them on in their home ground. But it wasn't the case. A strong performance by Mohun Bagan. Bengaluru, you can expect, they have their priorities set right. So that's how the plan worked out for them.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this match in length later in the show. Nasiruddin is joining us via Skype. Before we talk about this game in depth, we have few news that emerges out. Now, FC Pune City have partnered with Chanmari FC. It's a club from Mizoram. They also said in a strategic alliance. Now let's see how strategies play out in the coming future and what they mean by this. It's crazy. Chiranjeev, what did you make of it? I mean, in brief, if you had to say.
Well, usually when an Indian club goes and partners with a foreign club, you hear about Hoffenheim or PSG or Atletico de Madrid partnering with an Indian team. What happens is that the Indian club or the top division club in question is looking for some technical assistance from the foreign club, and the foreign club is looking for some players that the Indian club can produce. Okay, so it's usually the Indian top division team or if FC Pune City obviously is not a top division club, but they play in a major tournament. Yeah. Right, ISL. So what they usually are trying to do is to send their boys out for experience and practice. Okay. So here for FC Pune City and Chanmari FC, the situation is somewhat reversed. Is that major tournament Indian team is actually talking to or making an alliance with a club which plays in a local tournament. I mean, Chanmari FC play in the second division league, but they're mostly like their prominence is within Mizoram in the Mizoram league. Yeah. Okay, so they are making an alliance where Chanmari FC will provide all the grassroots access, the scouting base that they have. That access will be provided to FC Pune City, their academies, their under 21, under 19 teams, and hopefully the FC Pune City first team will benefit from it eventually. And Chanmari FC will receive whatever financial benefits or technical benefits that they can receive from FC Pune City, their academy coaches and their academy facilities that can be used. So it's an interesting proposition. Rather than reaching out to a foreign club, you make an alliance with a club which plays in the lower division. Okay. But has better grassroots, so you can have a very complementary relationship. And the other thing which I was a bit happy about this is that Chanmari FC were having financial troubles. Okay, so they had this really good women's team, which played well in the local tournaments. There is a women's league in Mizoram where they used to do pretty well, but when it was time to participate in the Indian Women's League, Chanmari FC pulled out because they did not have enough funds. Okay, and they were having trouble funding their second division team as well. So now that they have this relationship, maybe that will give some inflow of cash to them, and in the end help them participate in these competitions in the longer run. So for now, it's a good win situation for both of them.
Kevin, your thoughts?
Again, just to summarize Chiranjeev's point, I also agree that it's a good strategic alliance by the fact that financial assistance is being given to Chanmari and players are being taken in return. So that's the core of this deal. But the good part is Chanmari players who are playing in the second division might get an exposure to being at the bench for FC Pune City in the ISL. And considering that we are moving towards an era that ISL might be the top division, it's a good deal for Chanmari actually. And for the benefit of FC Pune City, obviously they get Northeast players that are strong technically. They've been brought up from ground up. So that is the experience, that is the stability that they get to the team. And it's not the first time that FC Pune City are doing such a tie-up, because they already have the FC Pune academy that has been taken over by them. Again, those players were mostly from the Northeast. And Mizoram, we know, has been contributing to Indian football, sending in technically good sound players.
Yeah. So it'll be a great flavor to see in this team. Let's see how that works out.
One problem I have with this is that when, let's say, ISL becomes a top division and in 2020 we have promotion relegation, then it becomes a conflict of interest. Because you are talking to a potential competitor, you are having a tie with a potential competitor, and who knows, if Super Cup has double division participation, then Chanmari FC may play against Pune City in the near future. So that way, having an alliance becomes problematic. So this will be a temporary thing.
Yeah, it might be just let's say 1 or 2 year contract. Maybe even trial basis. Depending on how the terms work out, they might change the contract terms in between.
Yeah, it'll be the scouting area for the scouts to go ahead and look at players. Now, moving on, we'll keep you updated about such news. Now, moving on, Lebanon pulled out. We spoke about that they were about to play India in a friendly, but now we go ahead and play Nepal. Now, Nepal has said yes, and that's on June 6th in Mumbai. So, Kevin, would you like to enlighten us something about this?
Nepal is ranked 173. There is a danger that if we lose to Nepal, we might get affected in the rankings. And all the work that we have been doing to get the ranking up, to get better teams to come and play in India. I'm talking about the friendly games. When you have a good ranking on your back, you attract good teams. That is what even Sunil Chetri had mentioned in between.
Right.
So it's a sort of a stopgap arrangement by AFF, but it might just backfire in the sense that we're not playing a technically good team. They've just lost recently to Philippines. 4-1 was the thrashing that they got. And they'll be playing Yemen in the same week. So we are playing Nepal on the 6th. Yeah. And on the 13th, Nepal is playing Yemen again.
Okay.
So I don't know how much of a strong team that Nepal would want to field. So again, a lower ranked team.
They will field.
A lower ranked team and a team that needs to play two games in a week or so. So I'm not really sure that it's a good competitive fixture for India to play in.
It's like before you talk, it's like when you called, you had guests coming over to play. There's a guest team, traveling team coming to you, but then eventually they pulled out. So you're like, "Arey, ghar ka hi kisi ko bulate?" Come all your cousins.
Yeah, the food is ready. You just call anybody to have
it. Look, Nepal is. I don't think they're as bad that they should be 173rd. Okay. But I'm tired of seeing India play Nepal. It's happened too often, man. Why? कोई और नहीं मिला यार. जिसका कोई नहीं उसका नेपाल है. What are you doing? And the ranking part is on point from Kevin. Even if we win, we don't get much credit out of this.
Yeah.
Okay. In fact, our ranking may actually go down despite us winning. We are not supposed to, when we are ranked 100, we are not supposed to play a 170 ranked team. Look what what playing somebody who's 30 ranks below them did to Puerto Rico. Now their ranking is trashed right now.
Yeah.
So I wish they had just done this as a practice match. Okay, you want to play a practice match. There's gonna be a camp, and you want a match before the actual match against Turkmenistan on the 13th. So play a non-FIFA friendly then. Like they did with Bhutan back then. They said, hey, we don't want to play a FIFA friendly because we don't want it to affect our rankings. This happened a few months back. So do the same thing. I think they wanted to do that, but Nepal said, hey, we want to play for rank. We want to make it an international friendly because we need to get our ranks better, and playing India is one of the best chances they will get to just slightly improve their rank that they're gonna get. It's their only chance.
So it looks like they are on the benefit, no? Here they have the advantage. If they win, probably their rankings get better.
Obviously, they will be the one who will have something to gain because their ranking will shoot up if they manage to do well in this game. But I think Indian officials were out negotiated here. They wanted, and I don't know this, but maybe they wanted a non-FIFA friendly, but Nepal said, hey, we're not going to play a non-FIFA game. And then India thought like, okay, something is better than nothing, so let's just play them.
Probably another rejection. Is
the strategy alliance between India and Nepal? We
the
have
federations.
to play.
Not the teams also.
The only federation who's worse than, historically worse than arranging matches than India
is Nepal. See, match made. A perfect match.
Seriously, that's why they play each other so often because oh my goodness.
Would it be better that India had skipped playing this friendly at all? Would it be any change in ranking? I don't suppose.
No. It probably would have It's probably you're playing Kyrgyzstan on the 13th, and so many players. All the players have been playing in the Federation Cup, dragging themselves through the grueling schedule of playing every other day. So you want to see what kind of fatigue they're carrying, how fit they are, and you want to test a few new blood, the young recruits in a match day condition, so that just in case you need them in the Asian Cup qualifier, you can use them. So one match was necessary. It's just sad that they could not get any country other than Nepal to come. It's just becoming a bit embarrassing now.
Yeah, now the other thing that we have to talk about before we talk about the review, before we talk about the match yesterday, and it was again Mohun Bagan, East Bengal have a meeting again in Mumbai with the AFF officials on 22nd May. Do we move on? That's about it. I'm fed up of talking about that.
If there are two clubs that are really concerned about the merger, it's East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. Remaining, nobody talking, nobody doing anything.
Because they're all safe and secure. It's just about them. Chiranjit, what do you have more to add to it?
Well, I don't know why they're meeting AFF so often, because everybody knows AFF is not making the decision.
This is again strategic alliance.
This is stupid, because AFF will not have their back in any way. They are gonna do what IMG Reliance wants. So apparently they wanna ask AFF to talk to IMG Reliance to get the franchisee fee down and all that stuff, and the home ground issue is again being talked about. They're wasting time, everybody's time. This is not necessary. They should just we're hearing that Tata has agreed to sponsor Mohun Bagan or whatever. Yeah, so
what about the team that they were supposed to put in? Even they were bidding, right?
See, everybody's bluffing over here. And everybody is saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, because now since Tata has said they're going to sponsor Mohun Bagan, weren't they supposed to put bid for...
No. It makes sense for them in a business way, because if you start a new team from Ranchi, it will never be as popular as somebody like Mohun Bagan. Okay, so if you are going to, you'll get some people or whatever, but Mohun Bagan is obviously a hot property. So if you are getting a hand on that, nobody would let that pass. So if and Tata have had relationship with Mohun Bagan before, so maybe that also played a role. So it's a good thing if that happens. It's an ideal scenario, but Mohun Bagan should work on that. They should be having meetings with Tata right now and just preparing the how they're going to go about the bidding process. Talking to AIFF will do nothing for them.
Yeah, it'll be the same thing, making us talk about it every day, and nothing. In the end result is the same thing that happens in the first time. Like they'll release another letter that which shows AIFF told me said this to us.
AIFF doesn't even care. You want to release, no problem. We'll do what we want.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing that happened last time.
Exactly.
So 22nd they're meeting. 23rd expect a letter to be released, which will have this and that.
And 24th expect us to talk again about it.
Talk again. We will talk again about it. And 24th they will just come and say, oh, okay, let's just submit the bid.
Yeah.
And 25th we will hear all the decisions.
So mark these days, you'll only hear Chiranjit on the show, not anyone else.
Yes, I will be talking for 2 hours about every single thing, about how pointless the whole thing was.
Yeah, you hosted, you ended as well.
And another point on the calendar is Aizawl FC are on vacation till 25th of May.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody's keeping a tab about that.
Actually, what we're hearing is that they may play a friendly Aizawl FC against the Northeast 11. Apparently, they will have some other players who played in I-League who will be playing in that team. So this should happen in Silchar at some point right after 25th May. Lots of things happening. Neroka is doing so well in second division. We should in the next few episodes focus on that, because Neroka could be the next Aizawl FC. They are close to getting a promotion to I-League. Hopefully we will bring you a lot more coverage on that huge title clash between Neroka and Southern Samiti. So watch out.
Yeah. Now let's finally come to the point where a match that was played out yesterday that we started the show with. Mohun Bagan defeated Bengaluru FC 3-1. I think it was an all-Indian 11, like by both the teams that they fielded.
Yeah, the starting 11 was all-Indian. Sorry, Eduardo started. Eduardo started for Mohun Bagan. So one foreigner. One
foreigner from Bagan. But Bengaluru fielded an all-11 side. It was an interesting match, but it just made it more interesting when Bagan got the first goal, and then it went on and it was a 3-1 final result. So Chiranjeev, we start with you. How was the match like?
Okay. So it was funny. I don't think Mohun Bagan went in there with the even thought of winning it by such a large margin. But I said yesterday it could become a high scoring game simply for the fact that both of the teams are fielding players who are not in matches. They have not been playing that regularly. Okay. And I also said that Bengaluru FC hold an advantage because their bench strength is technically much better than what Mohun Bagan have. But it sort of did not work out. And you know what might have played a factor here? It was Mohun Bagan constantly resting their main players and fielding their B-side in AFC Cup games. So here we suddenly ended up with Mohun Bagan playing players who don't usually make the first team, who have had a lot more match experience than some of the Bengaluru FC players had. And that ended up being such a huge difference, because here we had Keane Lewis, who scored that brilliant goal, who was, he's also gotten a few matches. He just played against Mazia. Then JJ Lalpeklua, who would have think of him as a reserve player? He doesn't get to start anymore. We have a national team striker who's starting in this match because Balwant Singh would get preference. Balwant and Duffy in the Federation Cup maybe, but it was all them at the early stage. Bengaluru FC were trying to press, but Mohun Bagan were doing pretty well through the wings, and actually the midfield looked better. Usually it's all Sony Norde, find Katsumi. This time it looked more free flowing, and to an extent I was like, oh man, this Mohun Bagan team actually is better to watch than the actual, the first team that you usually see, simply because of its flow. Obviously, in Sony Norde or somebody else will give you better individual skills. So it was a good game, back and forth. Mohun Bagan took the lead, then Bengaluru FC equalized. That was one hell of a goal from Simin Lindonga, and I'm so glad it comes to him at an AFC Cup game. So it will be an international goal.
He's turning out to be something, right? He's been featured in some of the games, and he's really showing what he's capable of.
That shot he took on the run. Like he had tilted his entire body, and he took the shot like that, and he just fell forward. He just let go of his balance. So it was a mid-jump shot, and obviously Shilton Paul could not make head or tail of that shot. It just went straight in. Edward's mistake of giving him that kind of room, but brilliant finish. And I think towards the end, when Keane Lewis got that goal, and then Mohun Bagan kept pressing and got the third goal, it seemed like Bengaluru FC players had just been outworked at that point. Okay, so yeah, it just shows that even though Bengaluru FC have some of the best youngsters in the country, at this level to work, they still need some of those experienced players to be on their side.
Yeah,
and
Kevin, any more thing that you would like to add to this?
I think we wait for youngsters to get a chance in high ranked team and in better teams, you would say, because they do get signed up. Look at Keane Lewis; he was injured, that's why he was out of action. But these players, they wait for the chance to be asked to be stepped up, and when they do, it's for everyone to take a look at that and then have that career move forward. It doesn't make sense you play in the AFC Cup, you give such a good performance, and you're left at the bench again. It just it's sad to see that. It would be better, like we're talking about Neroka. Look at Izumi. He's not in the top. He's not in the top pick of the I-League clubs, but at least he's doing well over there. At least he's getting his chances. So I feel sometimes bad for these young players who have got the potential, but are not given enough chances to take that. It's a small stage for them, but it's important that they progress. For me, Keane Lewis is much better than many other players in India right now, but it's just sad to see him not get enough chances.
He's up against Tony Rodgers. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's the thing. That position.
He's in the wrong team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had he been in another team, he would obviously look at Brandon. When Brandon was in Mohun Bagan, he did not get the fame. He did not get the recognition that he should have got. But look at how he is right now. People are talking about him. His talent is coming up. He is being spotted, and his chances of getting into a national team are much higher than Keane Lewis. So that's where I feel bad for players who are good at what they're doing, but they do not have enough chances.
I think what Chiranjit made a point, that he's been mentioning that he's in the wrong team. We saw him how, though whatever the tournament was about, we saw him how Delhi Dynamos used him, and he was really, really productive for the team. So let's hope in the future that he gets the right team where he gets more game time and we see him scoring and more often. Now that's about it for today's show, folks. If you're listening to us on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon to get updates of our new episode. All that you want to know about Indian football, get on our website, thefangrass.com. Also follow TFG Football Twitter handle, and you can also listen to our show on Audioboom, SoundCloud, and various other podcasting apps. Download the IVM podcast app on Android and iOS. Have a great day, folks. Cheers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Sorry to say, but there's been a slight delay due to the apocalypse having suddenly begun. As you can see, there's death, destruction, and chaos taking place all around us. But don't you worry, food and drinks will be served shortly, and I would recommend checking out
IVM Podcasts
to get some of your favorite Indian podcasts. We'll keep you going till this whole thing blows over. Thank you.